You ever wonder where all the wealthy international investors are putting their money when it comes to real estate in the US? I am going to give you the top 5 states, and at the end, I'm going to give a bonus of the one main critical thing that whether you are an out-of-state investor or an overseas investor, what you need to be thinking about. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Conor Green. I'm a realtor and team leader here in Tampa Bay in Florida. And today I just wanted to peel back the layers of data and see which are the top 5 states that all the big time international investors have been investing in. So whether you are a international investor looking to do the same thing, or you are a US citizen looking to invest in another state, well, here are some states to be looking out for. So coming in at number 1 is Florida. Almost about 1 in 4 buyers that are international opt to buy a home in Florida. In a study done by Coldwell Banker International Buyer's Guide, it came up as 24%. These investors are looking to Florida not only for the appreciation, but also for the stability in terms of rental income, since we do in Florida have a net influx of people versus an outflux. So whether it comes to vacation rentals or annual rentals, there always is a pretty good rental demand. It also doesn't hurt that it can double as a little bit of personal pleasure, whether they want to come visit and stay there themselves or let a friend or something do it. Now, number 2 is California, coming in at 11%. So 11% of international investors chose California. Now, with all of the issues that California has going on, that number does surprise me a little bit. But again, there are certain markets in California that are doing great, as well as when you intermix the personal aspect of it, where people might be buying homes in California, not just from an investment standpoint, but also for other reasons. Coming in at number 3 is Texas at 8%. This one really doesn't surprise me at all because Texas has been a super hot market in the past year, especially during the pandemic time, because it was one of the more open states and you did have a lot more people flock there the same way that you had them flock to Florida. And whether it's Dallas or Austin, both of those cities are expanding rapidly. Number 4 is Arizona at 7%. Arizona is a huge state when it comes to vacation rentals, so this one also doesn't surprise me either. If you go and watch videos when it comes to vacation rentals, whether it's Rob Built or Kai Andrew, you will see a lot of Arizona-centered content or focus when it comes to location. So because it is one of more of the popular markets that talked about, and it does have good tourist numbers too, that one doesn't surprise me. And then number 5 is New York at 4%. Although the New York market did get crushed, more specifically in the city during the pandemic, we have seen the city market rebound, and obviously the state of New York has a bigger area than just New York City, and so the more rural areas, upstate New York, has had a tremendous influx of people out of the city and even from neighboring spots because it is really gorgeous up there. Now, as far as the origin of these investors, number 1 was China in terms of the highest volume. Number 2 was our folks up in Canada. Number 3 was India. Number 4 was Mexico. Number 5 is Brazil. And then number 6 was Colombia. Now, as promised, the one thing that you need to be looking out for if you're investing in any of these markets is you need to make sure you know the rental restrictions when it comes to that area. Whether it's markets like Florida, Texas, or Arizona, short-term rentals are huge there, and there are a lot of rental restrictions that people don't know about. And it's so easy to get misinformation, whether you go on Airbnb and say, oh, well, the place next door is renting it out at Airbnb, and so are 5 others. Well, that might be fine and dandy, but that doesn't mean they're able to. And if you're buying the property based off of an Airbnb evaluation, which it allows you to make this amount of income, and so you pay this price, when all of a sudden the city shuts it down and says, well, you can't do that there because it's a residential area and we don't allow short-term rentals less than 30 days, well, then all of a sudden you can only make this amount of money, right? So if you went from $100,000 in revenue to only $50,000 in annual revenue, well, all of a sudden the value of the property just went down. Your rate of return really not very good. And you have to be careful too of what's online. A lot of realtors might not fully understand the nuances of the restrictions. Maybe they're newer to the business, they just haven't invested that time, and they don't do a lot of it, and so they could improperly label a property. So make sure you are getting solid information, and if you need a good recommendation, I know the top 1% of agents all over the country in the US, so I would be happy to refer you to someone who definitely can help you out. And of course, if you're looking in Florida, let me know, I would be happy to help you. So there you go, guys. Those are the top 5 states in the US that international buyers are investing in, as well as where those international buyers are coming from. And again, the main thing that people should be focusing on if you're investing in these markets. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop a comment below and I'll be sure to answer them. And let me know your thoughts on these numbers. As always, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and smash that like button because it lets me know to make more content like this for you. And if you like real estate, if you want to learn more about it, check out my YouTube channel or make more videos just like this. Super easy to understand and nice and straightforward. But that's it for me today, y'all. So until next time, this is Conor Green. Have a blessed day.